All right, Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Also want to say Shalom, much due honors and respect to all you brothers, all the fellow laborers that's continuing to push out this gospel and all truth, faith, and sincerity. All right, so I want to entitle this sitting, Remember the Reward. Salakia. Because when you come into the truth, you're going to suffer. And you're going to catch hell, and this is not uncommon to all the men that actually partake in this truth, But you don't want to be overcome with those thoughts to the point where it takes you off of your sight, The main goal is to receive the prize, which is the kingdom of heaven. So one thing that keeps you grounded is actually remembering the reward, man. Because that offsets all the bullshit you go through. And that's on all levels. Even in this carnal world, you got to go work for Esau and get paid these little pennies, Well, you're motivated because you're going to get paid at the end of the week or every 2 weeks or whatever the case might be. So how much more being in this truth? Well, we know we're going to receive a great reward, all right, to be joint heirs with the Lord Yahweh Shai, receive new bodies, and not be able to go off again. We be in good graces with the Heavenly Father. Those are the type of things that keep you moving in this truth. And the sincere men, they always gonna keep that thought in their mind. You don't never want to get overcome by, just the bad things that come along with being in this truth. All right? The thing that's going to keep you moving, especially in the times that we're in, we almost at the finish line. So it's best to keep your eyes on that reward. And the main example of that is our Lord Yahweh Shai himself, all right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, and verse 2. Looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sit down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. Yeah, so the scriptures tell you that, the Lord, for the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. Because he was looking past the cross. He was looking at that joy that was promised to him. His position being solidified on the right hand of the Heavenly Father. Everything been put in subjection under his feet. Everything in heaven and earth. So he looked past that cross and he dealt with that. All right? And we got to arm ourselves likewise. We being men of the Lord, the hopeful elect, the sincere men here at Great Millstone, we beat ourselves up at times. The spirit get on us, we afflict ourselves because we got contrite spirits for the most part, humble spirits. But you got to also balance that off and remember the perks that comes along with this. We're not working for free. And the Heavenly Father himself know this. All right? Verse 3, Hebrews 12 and 3, for consider him that endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. That's right. So in opposed of just thinking about all the hell you catching, which that's going to come because we constantly catch hell. We constantly are plagued by certain demons and thoughts. But you can offset that by thinking about the reward. That's why it tells you in Isaiah the 33rd chapter in the 6th verse, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. All right? And what knowledge and wisdom? Certain scriptures. Isaiah the 59th chapter, those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. All right? Malachi the 4th chapter, the Lord will come with healing in his wings. He who overcome will have power over the nations. We'll be joint heirs. We're going to be as the Lord, the things that the Lord have done, we're going to do even greater. These are the things that keeps you stable. And a lot of men, they'll fall away from this path because they take their eyes off of that prize. All right? Verse 4, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. That's right. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shai, he was actually beaten and suffered one of the most horrific deaths in history. But, we catch a little hell from here to there, worrying about bills, how you're going to eat from time to time. Your body getting sick, you losing weight, and all sorts of things, man, worrying and stress. But we still haven't resisted unto blood, striving for this crown, all right? The Lord tells you that his yoke is easy to bear. So the Lord not going to put too much on you that you can't bear anyway. But the times that we in, you know, we see everything speeding up. That chip is out here, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID technology. Well, these are the signs that the Heavenly Father is getting closer and closer to giving us that reward. All right? This is 2 Timothy. Bear with me for a second. Yep, this is 2 Timothy chapter 4. Now I start at verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. Yeah, and these are things that you got to possess. These are the characteristics and the qualities you got to possess in this truth. You got to endure all afflictions, you know, do the work of an evangelist, which means a public speaking, you know, and make full proof of your ministry. Verse 6, for I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So Paul is outlining the fact that he finished the course. But why did he finish the course? Because we all know the stories of Paul and all the tribulations and things that he went through, from being shipwrecked, beaten, all right, locked into prisons. Hey, even Paul was put to death. And he was revived. He came back to life. But what was the main reason Paul endured all that and kept pushing? Well, verse 8, henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day. Yeah, so Paul is out here right now waiting on that crown. All right? It says, and not to me only, but unto them also that love his appearing. And that's dealing with all the men that's seeking to endure to the end. We love the thought of the appearing of Yahushua. And the thing that's going to keep you pushing is remembering the reward. All right? You're going to remember the reward. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Heavenly Father, through his Son, he's not going to look at you sideways because of that. Even the Lord himself is ready to give you that reward. All right? You know, the Lord is not looking at it like, you know, how dare you want to be rewarded. No, the Lord really can't wait to give you your reward, but it takes patience. All right? This is the book of Luke. Chapter 12 and verse 32. It says, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. That's right. So the Lord, he ready to give us the kingdom, man. The Lord not looking at you sideways because you looking to be rewarded. So it's important to keep the reward in mind. This is the things that's going to get you over these hurdles. There's a lot of men that came into this truth and they really never grasp what this thing is all about. This thing is all about receiving the kingdom. When you read all throughout the scriptures, Ezra and all the men of the Lord, Acts, the first chapter, were the disciples at that time, who was later turned to apostles. They asked the Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom unto Israel? This is what motivates the men of the Lord. So you're damn right, we looking for the kingdom. We want that reward. So there's a lot of men that come into this thing and they just in it just to be in it, man. They not in it to receive the reward. All right? That gotta be your motivation, man. You know? Any servant is looking to be paid. And we working for a righteous, you know, we working for a righteous judge. Hey, Esau, as wicked as Esau is, you people out there got faith that Esau gonna pay you. So you got to arm yourself with that same mentality and this truth, all right? This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 6, and verse 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Yeah, so the Lord is righteous. Here it is. Esau pay you. So how much more the Lord? The Lord is going to reward us. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep the reward in mind, all right? This is what's going to keep you pushing. It said, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So that's the point, man. The Lord himself is ready to reward you. Hey, did not Yahweh Shah tell you in John the 14th chapter he's going to prepare a place for us? So our mind must be pondering on that. That will get you through. If you're a guy that's just in it, going with the motions, you're going to slowly, be knocked off your path. Because as long as you keep your eye single and keep your eye on that reward and remember the reward, then that in itself is going to motivate you. All right? This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. Yeah, so the Lord is going to reward his servants, man. This is you could take that to the bank. If you can't put your trust in any other thing, you will know that the Lord is going to reward his servants. So just knowing that alone is going to keep you pushing. It's going to keep you grinding. And you got to remember that. Oftentimes, a lot of us forget, we don't think about the reward. You know, being able to take your enemies in captivity, that's a part of the reward. All right? You know? Ruling with a rod of iron, your heart's desire, anything that you want, being able to interplanetary travels. Well, these are the rewards, you know? You got to remember that. You got to know that, all right? So again, it said, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, all right, small and great. So that means no matter what position you in on the totem pole, you might be a sign holder, you got to remember the reward, man. It tells you that some came in the 11th hour, they got the same penny. So if you small or great, the Lord is going to give us all that same reward. All right? It says, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth. Yeah, so the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, is going to give us a reward. All right? The Lord's actually going to reward us, man, for everything that we go through. So you got to arm yourself with this mindset. You know? You can't shy away from the fact that you're going to be rewarded in this thing. Well, that's the point of being a servant. All right? Let me end off on one last scripture. This is Revelation 22 and verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So the Lord is going to bring that reward with him, man. And that reward is going to be, you're going to get them new bodies. You're going to be delivered. All right? You're not going to taste death. So this thing is worth fighting for, man. But you got to remember the reward. You'll never be able to endure in this truth if you cast off the reward. All right? That's a part of the motivation. So, yeah, I hope this lesson was edifying. Until the next time I say shalom.